Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Tim Collins. Welcome to Heart Disciples Baseball TV, where today, for the first time since 2019, we can bring you a ball game from a ballpark on a sunny day in the summer, and it is filled with fans. I want to give you a shot of what it looks like here. It's such a wonderful atmosphere here in the ballpark in Haar. It's so nice. It has the feeling of a large baseball-loving family that hasn't convened for any major events in several years. People are reuniting, fans that know each other from both fan bases. There's a contingency of about 30 people or so from Heidenheim that have made the 1.5 hour long trek to come here. And they know us here in Haar, we know them, and the Haar fans are also coming out in droves. Almost all of the spots in the grandstand behind home plate have been taken, so the only thing that's left are the sunny, grassy knoll spots on the left, and I'm just overjoyed to be able to bring you that news. And today's ball game should be a good one. It's between, of course, the Heidenheim Heideköpfe and the Haar Disciples. The Heideköpfe coming in with a robust 19-1 record. And the Haar Disciples coming off the heels of a 2-game sweep in Mainz last weekend. They have 9 wins and 11 losses. They are trying to creep into that playoff, the top 4 teams, the tier of the playoffs that are in the Bundesliga South. And today's game should be an interesting one. These two teams obviously have met before. They played each other on the first weekend of the season, and it was very clear 2 victories for the Heideköpfe. However, today, the Heideköpfe have a much different lineup from what they normally run out there. And talking to Klaus Eckle, the head coach, before the game, he was explaining to me that, well, today, today's a Thursday. It's a big holiday in Bavaria, but it is not a holiday in every state in Germany. And some of the big players for Heidenheim live in Hessen. And it is not a holiday in Hessen, which means that their players could not get the day off from work. So there are going to be some notable omissions from the lineup today. Most notably, probably Sean Larry and his 14 home runs. He is not here today. Simon Göring is also not here today. Philipp Schultz is not in the starting lineup, although I do believe he is here. So it's a much different look for the Heideköpfe this afternoon in this ball game, which set to start at 2 p.m., but we're already 1 minute past that. Here on June the 3rd of 2021. Just a beautiful day for a game. It's about 24 degrees centigrade outside, and it's really the first real summer day we've had here in the Munich area. The month of May has been mostly rain, and so we're happy to get some sunshine. And I already see the comment, muss der Kommentator auf Englisch sein? Es muss nicht sein, aber es ist unbedingt besser, wenn ich das auf Englisch mache. Aber falls ihr Fragen habt zu dem Spielverlauf, dann kannst du gern Fragen in den Chat auf Deutsch schreiben. Ich werde es auch auf Deutsch erklären, aber ich mag die meisten von den Übertragungen auf Englisch, weil das meine Muttersprache ist. Und ja, ich glaube, die meisten Zuschauer eigentlich, wir haben viele Zuschauer auch in den USA und Venezuela, und die verstehen kein Deutsch natürlich. Also ja, ich versuche so viel Englisch und Deutsch wenn möglich zu reden, aber most of the broadcast is going to be in English. Unless you have any questions, you can write them in German in the chat, and I'll do my best to explain things. So we're about ready to start the ball game, and I hope you are comfortable. I hope you're sitting someplace nice and warm. You have a beverage in your hand, enjoying the holiday. We're going to have the Haar Disciples and the Heidenheim Heideköpfe in just a few moments.
Von euch alle wieder hier bei uns im Ballpark zu begrüßen. Herzlich willkommen. Toll, dass ihr da seid. Und mindestens genauso sehr freut mich, dass wir die Gäste aus Heidenheim haben. Ich hoffe, ihr habt eine gute Fahrt gehabt. Ihr habt auch wieder eure tollen Fans mitgebracht. Dass wir euch nochmal ein herzliches Willkommen. Und natürlich haben wir auch wieder einen Gast heute, der für uns den First Pitch wirft. Ich freue mich ganz besonders, dass wir unseren ersten Bürgermeister Andreas Bukowski heute hier haben.
And the mayor of Haar, Andreas Bukowski.
hier pitchen darf und dabei sein darf. Und ja, ich wünsche uns ein großartiges Spiel und go Disciples. Genau. Und jetzt wollen wir natürlich die Gelegenheit haben, den Andreas, natürlich, dass man den Andreas nicht weg, weil wir haben noch 2 brennende Fragen. Die Frage 1 ist natürlich, Andreas, Baseball ist jetzt natürlich ein Randsport. Wie stehst du zu Baseball? Wie siehst du das? Wie Randsport sehe ich hier eigentlich nicht mitten im Haar in Baseball statt. Das ist ja wunderbar und dann noch Bundesliga. Ja, es wissen vielleicht noch viel zu wenig Menschen, das müssen wir ein bisschen bekannter machen, aber ihr seid ja schon voll dabei und wer meine Unterstützung hat. Vielen Dank, das klingt doch super. Und jetzt vielleicht noch die letzte Frage, die entscheidende Frage, die hier ganz, ganz viele Leute interessiert. Andreas, hat Baseball eine Zukunft in Haar? Das will ich hoffen. So wie ich das hier sehe. Ja, schauen wir, dass wir das in einem Stadion anerkennen bekommen und dann, ja, dass es dann angemessen wird für die Spielklasse der Disciples. Wunderbar, das haben wir natürlich gerne. Dann würde ich sagen, Will, wir legen los mit dem First Pitch, oder? Viel Spaß heute beim Spiel, macht es gut, lasst es euch gut gehen, Burger, Bier, Getränke, Pommes, alles da und unser Catering-Team freut sich tierisch, dass ihr wieder da seid. Also, macht es gut.
All right, for those who didn't understand, Tom Wolf, the first Vorstand of the Disciples, making the announcements. He's allowing Andreas Bukowski, the mayor of Haar, to throw out the official ceremonial first pitch. And a ceremonial first pitch is something we have not seen here in several years. We haven't seen fans in this ballpark since 2019, and really a very festive atmosphere. The beer store is open. The burgers are being cooked. It smells like a party here with all the food, and you can smell the grill all the way even where I am behind home plate, and it's just such a welcome atmosphere. There are still people coming into the ballpark. Now, the attendance is actually capped at 250 people today, and I think we might reach that. So the Disciples are taking the field, and this game is getting ready to begin. So that means it's time for me to give you the starting defensive alignment for the Haar Disciples. They are going to send the infield out there. Francisco Riestra is playing third. Nate Sean Thomas is at shortstop. Miguel Pinero playing second base today as Simon Lechner is nursing an injury of some sort. Daniel Patrice playing first base. And then in the outfield from left to right, you have Niels Schmidt, David Dinsky in center, and then Juan Infante Jr. is in right field. The catcher is Will Thorpe, and on the mound is the right-hander Lucas Steinlein. And he's going to face a very different-looking Heidenheim Heideköpfe lineup. In fact, a lot of young players for the Heideköpfe. But it starts off the way it always does. Sasha Lutz, the leadoff hitter, he's the left fielder. And then Gary Owens batting second, he's the center fielder. Ludwig Glaser plays third base. He will bat third. And then the cleanup hitter is the designated hitter, Johannes Krom. The shortstop, Elian Gentner, will bat fifth. The catcher, Yannick Walter, will bat sixth. The right fielder, Luca Herger, is going to bat seventh. First baseman, Lou Helmig, will bat eighth. And the second baseman, Konstantin Holl, will bat ninth. And for the Heideköpfe, their starting pitcher is going to be the 45 years young German national team star and really just a legend of the Bundesliga, Inorbel Marquez. He will be on the mound for the Heideköpfe when they take the field in the bottom of the first inning. Meanwhile, Steinlein is throwing his warm-up pitches, and Luke has pitched well of late. In his last 3 starts, he's gone 6 full innings each, and the last 2 were very good. In fact, 2 weeks ago against Stuttgart, he pitched a 6-inning shutout, allowing only 4 hits, 4 strikeouts, and most importantly, no walks in that game. And then against Mainz last weekend, he gave up some runs early, but then stuck around long enough to be victorious. He allowed 5 hits and 2 earned runs, but 5 walks and 5 strikeouts. So he's going to get going. Here we go on a beautiful, beautiful day for baseball. And yes, the Heidenheim fans, they sat right in front of my microphone. So you're going to hear that ratchet. You're going to hear the siren. You're going to hear the cheering of fans, and there's nothing I'd rather hear. First pitch, fouled away. We are underway at 9 minutes after 2 p.m. Strike one to Sasha Lutz. Lutz is no spring chicken. He's been in the Bundesliga since, I believe 1999. There's the 0-1. That's low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Sasha hitting it .305. He's got 5 home runs. Also has 4 doubles. Left-hand hitter with power. Stands pretty even in the box. Thorpe sets up low and away. Here's the 1-1. Breaking ball, high fly ball down the right field line, twisting foul, and that's going to be out of play over the fence. Strike 2, 1 ball and 2 strikes. I'm going to keep an eye on the chat, so if you have any questions for me, feel free to type them in the YouTube chat. Es geht auf beide Sprache, Deutsch oder Englisch. Ihr könnt gern Fragen stellen auf Deutsch. Ich versuche mein Bestes, alles deutlich zu erklären. Here's the 1-2. Fastball just missed up and in. That was a pretty good spot, however. 2 balls, 2 strikes. It's hard to describe how good it feels to be surrounded by fans. There's a changeup low. Count full on Sasha Lutz. That's a common position for him to be in. He draws a lot of walks, sees a lot of pitches. In fact, he's drawn 22 walks this year. And the payoff. Just missed a little bit low, and Sasha is aboard with a leadoff walk. Let's see if we can, well, you're not going to really be able to see where it was. You can see the glove go down just a bit. And so Sasha is aboard to start things. So a question, what's the German to non-German player ratio for Haar? Well, Haar, so you have Thorpe, who's Canadian, Nate Sean Thomas, who is British, but that does not actually count as a foreigner in this league, even though the UK has left the European Union. Gary Owens will step up to the plate. I'll give you some more info about that in a minute. The pitch. Breaking ball low and outside. Owens, a very dangerous man. He's hitting at .424, 4 home runs. OPS of only around 1,200. Got a runner on first base. Sasha Lutz, pretty big lead, being held on by Danielle Patrice. And the pitch. That one catches the corner, a little slider, 1 ball, 1 strike. The Disciples also have Francisco Riestra and Juan Infante and Miguel Pinero. All 3 of those gentlemen are Venezuelan, but they have Spanish passports, so they do not count as foreigners. In fact, the Disciples' only foreigner is Will Thorpe on the field, quote-unquote foreigner, right? There's the pitch, fouled away, 1 ball, 2 strikes. And then they have Zach Treese, their starting pitcher for Game 2, and that's pretty much it. The rest of the team is European, when I remember correctly. Wenn ich das richtig erinnert habe. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Gary Owens. Sasha Lutz on first base. Nobody out. The Heidenheim wind-up toy is going. And a swing and a miss, and the ball gets off the glove of Thorpe, and that's going to allow Sasha Lutz to take first base. And Owens is out. I guess he gave himself up. You know, he could have, yeah, that's right. First base is occupied, so he cannot actually take first base on that. So Owens strikes out, but Lutz takes second on the passed ball. And so there's 1 away. Home plate umpire is Patrick Meister. Down the first base side, we have Dan DeBacco, and down the third base side, Andreas Boxleitner. So 1 down, runner at second base, Sasha Lutz, and now the hitter is Ludwig Glaser. Pitch is inside. Also, just another comment about the sort of the way the Ausländer-Regeln working, the foreigner rules work. Will Thorpe, who has been with the Disciples for 5 years, he also lives permanently now in Germany, and he's pretty close to becoming a what's called a baseball Deutscher. Here's the pitch. There's a little floating line drive over Pinero's head into right field, a base hit. Lutz had to hold up, but he's now being waved around. Here's the throw to the plate, close, and he is out. Juan Infante throws out Sasha Lutz for the second out. Glaser takes second base on the base hit. That was a nice play by Thorpe to receive the throw. Let's take a look at this on the replay. Not hit all that hard. A little floating line drive, and Lutz couldn't get a read on it right away. He had to make sure it was going to fall in, and the throw was there, and Lutz never touched the plate, never even came close. So there are 2 down. Glaser now the runner at second base. And Johannes Krum, the designated hitter, will step up to the plate. Krum, a right-hand hitter. He's got some occasional power. And the pitch is outside, ball one. Yeah, just to finish up this story about what counts as being a foreigner, you're allowed to have 2 non-EU players in the field at any given time. However, they cannot be both the catcher and the shortstop. So if you have a foreign catcher, you must have a German or European shortstop, and vice versa. Here's the pitch. There's a little line drive off the end of the bat into left field, base hit. And here comes Niels Schmidt with a throw, and this time Glaser is held at third base. So Ekla, not willing to have 2 runners thrown out at home plate on successive plays, throws up the brakes, and Glaser stops at third. Not hit all that hard again, but still good enough for a base hit for Johannes Krum. So first and third now. And Elian Gentner will step up to the plate. Gentner getting the start at shortstop today. First and third, 2 outs. Infield playing straight away. There's the first pitch. Breaking ball, strike called over the outside corner. 0-1 from Lucas Steinlein. By the way, Glaser, who had the base hit, had been hitting at 396. Krum was at 224, so he needed that base hit. First and third, 2 down, no score, top of the first. There's a line drive down the right field line, and it is twisting foul. It would have been extra bases, but instead it's a long strike. Now the ballpark's still filling up. There's some fans still coming. It's nice to see so many familiar faces here, both from Heidenheim and from Haar, and to hear the noise and just a lot of energy. In fact, even after that play when Juan Infante threw out Sasha Litz at home plate, you could see in right field he was fist pumping. There's some energy going on today. The 0-2 fastball outside and high, 1-2. Good spot from Steinlein. Lutz walked to start the inning. Owen struck out, but then Lutz went to second on a pass ball. He tried to score on a single and was thrown out, 9-2. And then another single. We have runners on first and third. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Elian Gentner. There's the pitch. There goes the runner from first. Breaking ball taken for a ball. Throw to third. Almost went into left field, and were it not for a leaping grab by Riestra, they might have had a chance to get the runner at third, as Thorpe electing to try to backpick instead of going after Krum at second base. So Krum steals second base, and the count goes 2-2. That was a good play by Riestra to leap up there and stop that throw from going down the line. Gentner, by the way, is hitting at 207. Big spot for him. Breaking ball, strike 3 called, and the inning is over. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Steinlein. He gets around a walk and 2 hits. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, 2 left on base at the end of a half inning of play here in Heidenheim. It's the Heideköpfe nothing. And the Haar Disciples coming to bat. This is Haar Disciples Baseball, präsentiert vom Gesundheitsunternehmen MSD. So the Heidenheim Heideköpfe will take the field for the bottom of the first inning after an eventful top of the first. The fans here have already been treated to A great throw from Juan Infante in right field to cut down Sasha Lutz at the plate. A couple of strikeouts. And so, Inorbel Marquez, 45 years young. He was born on, in fact, he's 46. Excuse me, my math is terrible. He was born December 11th, 1974. So he will be 47 in December of this year. And let me tell you, if anybody's going to be able to pitch until, well, until the end of time, this man is the guy. He's got a 1.85 ERA. So he's been wonderful. He's only pitched 24 1/3 innings. He's been mostly used in short stints here and there. The most he's pitched in any game at any point this year is 6 innings against Mannheim a couple of weeks ago. But his last outing against Mainz was on the 21st of May, and he pitched 3 innings in that game. His big thing is that he simply does not walk people. In 24 1/3 innings, he's given up 3 walks. Defensively behind him, he's got Ludwig Glaser at third, Elian Gentner at short, Konstantin Holl is at second, Lou Helmig is the first baseman. And I'll give you the outfield after the first pitch to Nate Sean Thomas, switch hitter batting right. And it's low and outside, ball 1. The outfield, Satchel Litz in left, Gary Owens in center, Luca Herger is in right field, and the catcher is Yannick Walter. No Simon Göring, no Sean Larry. Here's the 1-0. Slow roller left side, and it gets past Glaser. Backhanded by Gentner, and no chance. Thomas is safe at first. That's an infield single. Once it got past Glaser, there was no chance really for Gentner from deep short to get to that ball in time to throw out Nate Sean Thomas at first. So Thomas, who had been hitting 275, is aboard with a little ground ball single, and we'll see. Normally, when you have Simon Göring behind the plate, Thomas has been caught, I think, 4 or 5 times by Göring, but Göring is not back there. It's Yannick Walter, so you wonder if Thomas is going to be off early in the at-bat. Thomas has 9 stolen bases. He's been caught twice, and both of those, if I remember correctly, were by Simon Göring. So here is Francisco Riestra. Thomas not going. First pitch is low and outside for a ball. Riestra for the Disciples, hitting at 297. That's in 88 plate appearances. He's been a solid player defensively and also with the bat. He's a guy that can put the ball in play, hit the ball to the right side where there's a big hole. And Marquez paints the corner with a little backdoor cutter, it looked like. 1 ball and 1 strike. Yeah, I see some people wondering where is Simon Göring, where's Philipp Schultz? Well, Klaus Eckle explained to me that today's not a holiday everywhere in Germany. And so the people that are missing from Heidenheim are folks that could not get the day off from work. Now, Schultz's name is on the actual lineup card as a reserve. I did not see him in the dugout, but he might be here because his name is on the line. But I have a hard time thinking that if he weren't here, he wouldn't be in the lineup anyway. There's the runner going. Pitch is taken for a ball. Throw to second base. Thomas dives in safely. He's stolen it. So Vroom Vroom guy moves up to second base. Thomas, after the pickoff move, decided to go on first move by Marquez, and he guessed right, and big cloud of dust that still is yet to settle. Thomas is in there, getting the uniform dirty right away. And so, 2 balls and a strike on Francisco Riestra. Thomas at second base. Infield still playing straight away. No score, bottom of the first. Time is called at the plate. Now you know Riestra is going to be looking for something away to try to move Mr. Thomas over to third. Marquez looking in for the sign from Walter. He's got one. Here's the pitch. Fastball missed high. 3 balls and a strike now. Waiting on deck, Will Thorpe. I neglected to give you the Disciples batting order. I will do that in a moment. 3-1. Nobody out. Thomas at scoring position at second base. The pitch. Low and inside, ball 4. That's just the 4th walk issued all year by Inorbel Marquez. Take a look at the pitch. So the batting order, Nate Thomas, Francisco Riestra, and then Thorpe 1, 2, 3. For the Disciples, it's Dinsky, Patrice, Infante 4, 5, 6, and then Pinero, Klaus Nicolici, the designated hitter, and Niels Schmidt 7, 8, 9. This is a Disciples lineup that has done some damage in the early part of the year. Their biggest weakness really has just been the back end of the bullpen, as is pretty common in the Bundesliga. Thorpe takes a ball high and outside, 1 ball, no strikes. Will having another great year with the bat. 417, he's got a home run, 2 triples, 5 doubles. He's been money for the Disciples. First and second. Sliced towards the gap in right center field. This is going to be caught by Hörger. Thomas tags, and he will motor to third. And so first and third with 1 out. Looked off the bat like there was a chance it might reach some grass in the outfield, but it sliced right to the right fielder, Luca Hörger. And that'll bring up David Dinsky. So there's 1 away as you watch this pitch to from Marquez to Thorpe. Hörger actually looked like he started in first and then had to backtrack just a bit. But he made the play without any real problems out there. And so David Dinsky steps up to the plate. Now Dinsky is another guy who's got some pop for the Disciples. Hitting .343, 2 home runs. He swings hard. First and third. You wonder if Riestra might try something. A quick pitch, and it comes in low as Marquez barely came to a stop on that one. Marquez comes set. 1-0. Slow ground ball towards third, charging Glaser. He's going to come home. His throw is wide and gets away from Walter. Thomas will score. Riestra heads to third. He is safe as the ball is not handled by Glaser. And now, trail runner going to second. The throw there is in time, and Dinsky is called out. Well, that was a wacky play, but the Disciples lead by the score of 1-0. So, a slow ground ball. It was a fielder's choice. Dinsky will get an RBI on that. So he reached first. Thomas scored. And then moving to third on the E5, I believe it would have to be, is Riestra. He goes to third on the E5. And then Dinsky is thrown out 5-4, I guess, going to second. So that's out number 1. But the Disciples take a lead 1-0. And Daniel Patrice will step up to the plate. Patrice leading the Disciples in home runs with, I believe, 5. Let me look at his stats. Yep, he's got 5 home runs. He hit one of those, I believe, in Heidenheim. He had a big game against Ulm, hitting 3 home runs in 1 game. Here's the 1-0. That's high and outside. 2 balls, no strikes. I'm going to show you that play one more time when we get a minute after this next at bat. So with runner on third, the score bug is takes plays like that a minute to update on Easy Score. So there's a runner on third only, and there's 1 out. The pitch, swing, and there goes the bat flying into the on-deck circle. Infante had to get out of the way of that. So let me show you this last play one more time here. This is the play that scored the run. Ground ball to third. So the play goes 5-2, and then the ball get past the catcher, and then it went 2 back to 6. The shortstop was covering, and the throw went 6-4 to get the runner at second base. That's how that went. 1-1 on Daniel Patrice. Swing and a miss. Runner on third base. 1 out in the inning. The 1-2 curveball, that's high. Actually, I'm a little confused on the count. I'm not sure if it's 2-2. I believe the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here it comes. Fouled away. Patrice stays alive. Patrice using the Haar Disciples colored bat with the yellow and black. Yellow barrel and a black handle. Of course, matching the colors of the Haar Disciples uniforms. 1-2. You have the runner at third base is Riestra. Line drive towards the gap in right center field. Herger is there, and he makes the catch. And that was actually the third out of the inning. Wait a minute. Yes, that's right, because of the catch in the outfield before. I'm losing my bearings, ladies and gentlemen. Fly out ends the inning, but the Disciples get a run. They get a run on one hit. There was an error, not sure on who yet, but there was definitely an error, and there was one left on base. So we go to the second inning. It's the Disciples 1 and the Heidenheim Heideköpfe nothing. This is Hard Disciples Baseball, presented from Gesundheitsunternehmen, MSD. Here we go to the top of the second inning. 1-0 the Disciples lead, and Yannick Walter looks at a strike from Luke Steinlein. 6, 7, and 8. Walter, Luca Herger, and Lou Helmig. Walter so far hitting .311. He does have power. He has 3 home runs. And Steinlein deals low and outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Still waiting for that score bug to update. We're in the top of the second inning. It's 1-0 Disciples. Fastball missed the corner on the outside. And there's a strike. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Every time I manually update the scoreboard, then it gets corrected. So there you go. I'm going to try to keep tabs on that so that that thing is accurate at all times. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Walter. Fly ball hit to deep center field, but there's a lot of room out there for Dinsky. He has to shade his eyes from the sun, backpedal just a bit, but he made the catch without any big problem. Ohne große Probleme. Gut gefangen von David Dinsky in center field. 1 down. That'll bring up Luca Herger. Herger, the starting right fielder today, has, in limited playing time, 2 hits in 10 at-bats. Of course, for you math wizards out there, that's a 200 batting average. And Steinlein from the stretch position deals, swinging and a miss, strike 1 on the first pitch. And the 0-1. 0-2 as he waved at that slider fading down and away. Steinlein trying to have a quick inning here. And he makes quick work of Herger, strikes him out on 3 pitches. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Looked like 3 breaking balls down and away. Take another look at that last pitch. And Herger swings right over the top. So 2 down very quickly here in the top of the second inning. And the hitter now, Lou Helmig. Fastball high. Helmig hitting at .500. 1 hit in 2 at-bats. So the The young players getting a chance today, and a good swing fouls it away. One ball and one strike on Helmig. After Helmig, Konstantin Hull is waiting in the on-deck circle. Hull, out of all the young guys playing today, has the most playing time. He's got 43 at-bats. Here's the 1-1. Little chopper right side, trickles to the first baseman, Patrice. He touches up, and a very quick 1-2-3 inning is in the books for Luke Steinlein and the Haar Disciples. Nothing across the board. Bottom of the second inning coming up. It's the Disciples 1 and the Heideköpfe nothing. This is Haar Disciples Baseball, präsentiert vom Gesundheitsunternehmen MSD. Welcome back to the bottom of the second inning. Tim Collins with you here, and I just want to remind you once again that we are looking to upgrade some of our equipment here on the broadcast, and there is a GoFundMe link in the YouTube description, which you can click on, and we would be extremely appreciative of any support you can give. We're trying to get reinstate the center field camera again, so that it will look as wonderful as the broadcasts around the Bundesliga have looked. The Mainz and the Heidenheim broadcasts all doing a great job, so we thank you for your support. You can find that link in the description. Meanwhile, bottom of the second inning, and the pitch is low to Juan Infante Jr. Infante, he's been a really, really wonderful addition to the Disciples, hitting at .309. He's a guy who can play the outfield, he can pitch, he can handle the bat, he looks at a strike. Originally from Venezuela. He's got a 1-ball, 1-strike count. In the bottom of the second, 1-0 Disciples leading here. And he shoots that one foul off to the right, 1-2, in a fan-filled ballpark. Haven't said those words in a couple of years. And the weather is perfect. The atmosphere is very festive. Everyone just seems just happy to be here. Endlich mal wieder in die Sonne sitzen mit Freunden und ein paar Biers und Burgers konsumieren. Pitch was low. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Infante. It's kind of like going to a beer garden. Here's the pitch. That's high. But instead of an oompa band, you have a baseball game. Full count. And if you're watching from outside of Germany and you've never been to Germany, you should come to Germany. You should come see a baseball game. There's a swing and a foul tip held onto by Walter, strike 3. That's the first strikeout for Marquez. And that will bring up Miguel Pinero. Pinero, this season, is hitting at .200. That is 8 hits in 40 at-bats. But he's always a guy who has come up with big hits. He does have 2 doubles amongst his hits. He's got good power to the opposite field, but he pops this one up. Foul ground, a long run for Herger. Will he get there? He makes the catch and slams into the fence. An excellent play by Luca Herger. He was really racing a long way. They were not shading Pinero. And you're not going to see it because he went out of the view of the camera, but he went a long way. Maybe you can at least see how far he had to go. So he started, and then he leaves your screen and runs for another 5 seconds, and he caught that ball. That ball would have probably hit the fence on the fly. But a very nice running catch. Most of the time, ball goes over in that area, and the outfielder gives up on it because you don't want to run into that metal fence. at full speed, but Herger, I couldn't see if he actually collided with the fence full on or not, because the dugout is over there and he goes out of my view as well, as Klaus Nicolici takes a strike. But I could see the umpire DeBacco calling him out, so it was a really nice running catch by Luca Herger. It's a 2 down. And a little, what was that, an eephus pitch? 1 ball, 1 strike. Marquez's heart was not quite in that delivery. Looked like some indecision on Marquez's part. 1-1 on Klaus Nicolici, who does have power. And he takes that one high. Nicolici so far this year hit 267. He's got a home run. Two and 1 to Klaus. And a strike at the knees. 2-2 rather. 2 down, nobody on, bottom of the second inning. 1-0. Haar leading Heidenheim. Heidenheim has only lost 1 game this year. That was, I believe, against Regensburg, if I remember correctly. Pitch. That's a slider high. Full count now. Three-two. And he got him. Little backdoor slider or cutter or something. 2 strikeouts in the inning. Nothing across the board. And 2 successive 1-2-3 innings for each pitcher. We go to the third. 1-0 Disciples. This is Haar Disciples Baseball, presented from Gesundheitsunternehmen MSD. To the top of the third inning in a festive atmosphere in Haar, and it's going to be 9-1-2 for the Heideköpfe against Luke Steinlein, Konstantin Hull, and then Sasha Lutz and Gary Owens. 1-0 Disciples. They scored a run in the first inning, and the first pitch is a strike to Konstantin Hull, who is batting .313. That's 10 hits in 32 at-bats, and 4 of his 10 hits have been doubles, so he's got some pop. And strike 2 as Steinlein jumps out ahead. 0-2. Oh, it's so nice to hear the energy in the ballpark. Of course, Heidenheim fans always bring energy. There's a slicer foul over the head of Lutz in the on-deck circle. This is a feeling that I haven't felt in a couple of years. Just like you, watching at home. Swing and a miss. Ball is blocked by Thorpe, and he has to complete the play and does so. So there's a strikeout. That's the 4th strikeout for Steinlein in this game. And then a 2-3 putout for a 2-3 assist, rather, if you want to get technical. Thorpe gets the assist, and the putout goes to Patrice at first base. And now the lineup turns over. Sasha Lutz, who walked and was thrown out trying to score on a base hit at the plate. So he will get his second crack of the day against Luke Steinlein. Lutz, of course, got power. And the pitch is low. I think I neglected to tell you that Sasha has 5 home runs this year. But the Heideköpfe, without 2 of their biggest boppers today. No Simon Göring, no Sean Larry. There's a check swing. Pitch down and in. They appeal. Box Leitner at third says no swing. 2 balls and no strikes on Sasha Lutz. Gary Owens waiting on deck. 1 down. Steinlein's pitch. Hit hard on the ground to the right side. Takes a big bounce and goes over the head of Patrice. That's a base hit. Boy, that ball hit the edge of the grass and just sprung up over the head of Patrice, who is not diminutive by any stretch of the imagination. And he had really no chance. Let's take a look at that on a replay. It was hit very hard. Probably had a lot of topspin, and it just bounces right over the head of Danielle Patrice. So a 1-out single. And here come the Heideköpfe fans. Gary Owens stands in. Owens struck out. Big time power at the plate. Lutz at first base, very short lead. And the pitch, strike at the letters, fastball, top of the zone. That's where pitchers try to pitch to Owens. They try to get him to elevate and chase pitches out of the zone up. He's got that long hitch in his swing. The problem is if you miss, then you're in some danger zone for sure. 0-1. Runner not going. Pitches strike 2. Same spot, 0-2. Like I said, they try to throw it under the hands of Owens. He checks down to third base coach Klaus Eckle. 0-2. You wonder if maybe Lutz might take off from first base here. 1 out and a check on Sasha. He dives back. We're in the 3rd inning, top half, 1 out, 0-2 on Gary Owens. And Sasha dancing around. He took a step towards second, and Steinlein just stepped off. So the cat and mouse begins. That's Lutz trying to induce a balk. 0-2. Not going. Breaking ball in the dirt. Good block by Thorpe. 1 ball, 2 strikes. This is the part of the order that Steinlein really cannot give in or let up. If anything, he's going to be extra careful and give up some walks. Of course, you're playing with fire when you do that, but try to pitch around the experienced part of the order. Lutz again dancing off the bag at first, and Steinlein, for the second time, maintains his concentration and simply steps off. That's what you're supposed to do when you have a dancing base runner like Lutz. 1-2. Not going. Ground ball back through the middle, and Thomas gloves it. Backhanded flip attempt to second, but not in time. Lutz dove in very late, but he's safe. So a little infield single. Boy, Steinlein almost got a glove on it, and then Thomas did get a glove on it, but he really had no chance to get the out at second base. So 2 on. Let's watch this on the replay. If Steinlein fields that ball, it's going to be a double play. But once it got past Luke and then Pinero, by the time Thomas fielded it, he had already crossed over to the other side of second base and tried to backhand flip it to Pinero. Could not do anything. And so Ludwig Glaser now with 2 on and 1 out. Disciples would love a double play, and the Heideköpfe would love a 3-run home run. So let's see who gets what they want. Breaking ball is a little high. 1 ball, no strikes. Glaser singled his first time. I mean, you look at the first 4 hitters in the Heideköpfe order. Oh, you have a walk and 4 base hits, only 1 out. That was the strikeout of Owens. But then the bottom of the order, Steinlein had no problem with. We'll see how that develops as this game goes. And the pitch. Missed inside, 2-0. Well, Sasha Lutz at second base is doing all he can to try to distract Luke Steinlein. You can see him in the background of your picture there. He had a little bit of a fake running start. Steinlein, however, is not so easily rattled with such shenanigans. 2 balls and no strikes. And now this time it's Steinlein's turn to play a little cat and mouse. Gary Owens, the trail runner at first. He's not being held on. Patrice is actually standing in front of him on the grass. Glaser is not going to be bunting there. Here's the 2-0 pitch to him. That's inside, ball 3, 3-0. Johannes Krum, the DH, is on deck. 3 balls, no strikes. I would bet that Glaser has the green light here. I would not be surprised one bit if he gets a green light. Steinlein from the set. Runners lead first and second, 1 out. Well, he had a pitch right down the pipe. It looked like he was ready to swing if he had wanted it, but he took it. Maybe he was a bit out in front. 3-1 now. Jetzt kann richtig hauen. Three balls and a strike. There go the runners. The pitch is taken for a strike. Throw to third, and Lutz is dead. He is out by 5 feet. And so caught stealing. The trail runner, however, Owens moved up. So Sasha's been thrown out at home, and now he's been thrown out at third. Play goes 2-5. The pitch was a strike, so the count is full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Take another look at that. They tried the double steal, and it backfired. Klaus Eckler trying to make something happen. But Lutz was not close to being safe at third base. With 1 out, it's worth the risk. Now there are 2 down and a runner at second base and a full count, and suddenly, excuse me, that's only 1 out. No, there's 2 outs. I'm having trouble reading my own handwriting today. Pitch, swung on and missed. He struck him out, and within the span of 2 pitches, the complexion of that inning completely turns around. So Luke Steinlein strikes out Ludwig Glaser, coming back from a 3-0 count with first and second, and sandwiched in between the caught stealing of third, and the Disciples are out of the inning. So we go to the bottom of the 3rd inning with the Haar Disciples leading the Heideköpfe by a score of 1-0. This is Haar Disciples Baseball, presented from Gesundheitsunternehmen MSD. Welcome to the bottom of the 3rd inning here in Haar. The Disciples leading the Heideköpfe by a score of 1-0, and Marquez back out there on the mound. He's going to deal with Niels Schmidt, and then the top of the order, Nate Sean Thomas and Francisco Riestra. Again, we're in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Easy Score has yet to update, so the scoreboard in the bottom left of the screen is incorrect at the moment, but that will probably be corrected in a minute. First pitch to Schmidt is low for a ball, 1 ball, no strikes. Schmidt this year hitting at .083. That's 2 hits in 24 at-bats. However, he has a triple amongst his hits. He's got some pop. When he makes contact, the ball will fly. And he fouls that one off. 1-1. Bottom of the third inning. And the 1-1. Fastball right through there at the knees. Good pitch from Marquez. Marquez is a master at changing speeds and hitting spots. I mean, that's why he has lasted as long as he has. The 1-2. Flailing away, and he stays alive, is Schmidt. Chasing that pitch, that little dead fish on the outside corner. We're in the bottom of the third. I'm going to try to correct that score bug here in a minute. And a swing and a foul tip caught by Walter. So Marquez strikes out Schmidt. That is Marquez's third strikeout. Inorbel got his start in the Bundesliga back in 2004, if you can believe that. He's pitched in Italy. He's been a member of many World Baseball Classic tournaments, and he's pitched, on the European stage with Team Germany for many years. And he is also still the only pitcher in the history of the Bundesliga to ever throw a perfect game over 9 innings, a 9-inning perfect game. That was back on May the 24th, 2008, against the Bonn Capitals. He was then a member of the Zollingen Alligators. There's a 1-1 pitch to Nate-Sean Thomas. There's a strike on the inside corner, 1-2. Thomas singled and came around to score the game's only run. That was in the first. I think the score bug has been fixed. There's the 1-2. Ground ball left side. Glaser stabs it from his knees and pops up to throw to first just in time to get the out at first. 5-3 on the putout, 2 down. And Marquez gets the first 2 here. The infield has been taking some strange hops. I was watching batting practice, and it looked like all the infielders, really for both teams, were having trouble anticipating what kind of hop they might get. And you could see it there also. Glaser played that ball a little bit to his side, and you can't really blame him because we saw that ground ball last inning off the bat of Sasha Lutz. Just took a bounce and went over the head of Daniel Patrice as Francisco Riestra takes a ball inside. 1 ball, no strikes. One and out. Swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike now. Disciples got a run in the first inning on a ground ball fielder's choice that also on the same play saw 2 errors. Slicing line drive foul, and Tim Williford has to show off his dance moves to get out of the way of that one. Fortunately, he's still got it. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Riestra. Greetings to our viewers from Venezuela. Hola. There's the 1-2 pitch. Fastball got him looking outside corner, and Riestra caught looking. So that is now 7 in a row retired by Inorbel Marquez. Going back to the end of the first inning, we go to the 4th here in Haar. The Disciples leading the Heideköpfe 1-0. This is Haar Disciples Baseball, präsentiert vom Gesundheitsunternehmen MSD. Here we go to the top of the 4th inning. Luke Steinlein has worked 3 scoreless innings so far, and he will deal with 4, 5, 6. Johannes Krumm, Elian Gentner, and Yannick Walter as Krumm swings through a high breaking ball, strike 1. Krumm singled his first time, but was stranded. That one is in the dirt, 1 ball, 1 strike. Breaking ball missed outside, 2-1. So far, the biggest play in the game defensively came very early. In fact, the 3rd hitter of the game, Ludwig Glaser, got a base hit, and Sasha Lutz tried to score from second base, and he was gunned down by Juan Infante at the plate. The pitch was high, 3-1. That would have given Heidenheim a 1-0 lead. However, they were turned away, and then the Disciples played at a run of their own in the bottom of the 1st, and that's where we are. There's a strike over the outside edge. Full count now on Krumm, who was looking for a walk. I have all the highlights so far, and I'll show them to you again later. There's the pitch. There's a drive, well hit, deep center field. Dinsky racing back near the fence. He's there and makes the catch. That ball is gone in every other ballpark in Germany, but not here, and Krumm flies out. 1 away. That was a very tough play. Dinsky had a long way to go. It was really hit. It had the sound off the bat. Krumm with power. That ball for sure is a home run in Heidenheim, but not here. It's the first out of the inning. A long, loud out, but an out nonetheless. And now Elian Gentner looks at a strike. Gentner struck out his first time. And a breaking ball hits the outside edge. Steinlein looks to have his good stuff today. He's at his best when he's hitting the edges of the strike zone with all of his pitches. And a whiff on 3 pitches. Down goes Gentner. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Ks for Mr. Steinlein. And that'll bring Yannick Walter. Walter flied out to center field. He's 0 for 1. As you see that last pitch from Lucas Steinlein. Heidenheim fans looking for a hit from their young catcher. Fastball hits the corner. Steinlein has a direct line to that outside part of the strike zone, at least the last couple of hitters. 0-1. That one just missed a little bit outside and low. 1 ball, 1 strike. The things you hear in the ballpark, I love it. Swing and a miss, a breaking ball down in the dirt. Walter went chasing. Came up empty, 1 ball, 2 strikes. I'm always reminded, you can tell what teams are playing just by the sounds of the fans. Heidenheim, they have their own signature sound. There's the 1-2. Breaking ball off the plate, not a bad spot, but no chase by Walter. 2-2. This one's solidly struck to center field. Dinsky's got a beat on it, though, and he makes the catch to end the inning. Walter waited on that breaking ball and got the barrel on it, but David Dinsky, a lot of room out there, and made the catch easily. Nothing across the board for the Heideköpfe. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Still 1-0 Disciples. This is Haar Disciples Baseball presented from Gesundheitsunternehmen MSD. We go to the bottom of the fourth. The Disciples, with their first inning run, have made it this far into the game, leaving that lead up on the scoreboard. It's 1-0. Marquez still out on the mound for the Heideköpfe. He's thrown 47 pitches, and that's right around where he has maxed out most of the time this year. He has one outing where he went up to 79 pitches, but most of the time he's around 50 or so, as Thorpe jacks one fouled on the left field line out of the ballpark and actually nearly hit some folks that were on the pedestrian path out there. So there's a strike to Will. 3, 4, and 5, Thorpe, Dinsky, and Danielle Patrice. Thorpe hit a fly ball to right field his first time. That actually put Nate Thomas at third, where he would eventually come home. And the pitch is low. 1-1 on Will. Marquez working quickly, and he hits the corner at the knees. 1-2. Marquez, a guy who routinely puts on pitching clinics just every time he steps out on the mound. He knows how to carve you up. There's a ground ball past the mound, slowly hit, fielded by Gentner, not cleanly, throw to first, and Thorpe is safe. Most likely that's going to be an infield single. It was a little chopper. It got over the bare hand of Marquez. And Elian Gentner, the shortstop, shuffling over to his left. He didn't quite pick it up on the first attempt. Would have been bang bang at first had he done so. It was hit very slowly. So Thorpe is at first. We'll see how that gets scored. And it is indeed a base hit for the Disciples. And now David Dinsky steps up to the plate. And he lays down a very good bunt, fielded by Glauser at third. Throw to first. It's in time. Dinsky was really hustling. He can get down the line. But that'll go as a sacrifice as Thorpe moves to second base. So there's one away on the bunt, and Danielle Patrice will step up to the plate with a runner in scoring position. Let's take a look at this bunt by David Dinsky. He really deadened it perfectly. And Glauser had to make a good play and a strong throw. Dinsky very fast. So Danielle Patrice now. Patrice is 0 for 1, fly to right field. And he gets a strike on the inside corner, a little slider. A little indoor slider, I guess you could call that, from Marquez. Thorpe out on second base. Here's the 0-1. Fouled away, 0-2. Patrice has excellent power to the opposite field. If he gets a pitch out over the plate, he will drive it that way. And in fact, center fielder Owens is shading him towards right center field. If Patrice pulls one to the gap in left center, he could run for quite a while. I think Owens is not even in your picture. That's how far to the right he is. 0-2. Fastball, strike 3 on the inside corner. That was a very good pitch by Marquez. Patrice was looking for something out away, and he burned the inner half of the plate. Look at that pitch. So he threw a bunch of slow stuff and then came right in there on the inner half with a strike. That's a good pitch from Marquez. So 2 down, and that'll bring up one Infante. Infante struck out his only other at-bat. This ball game started exactly an hour ago, and we're in the bottom of the 4th inning, so making good time here. Not that there's anywhere I'd rather be. There's a little tapper in front of the plate, fielded by Walter. He throws to first in time, and the inning is over. So the leadoff base runner amounts to nothing as the putout goes 2-3. So no runs, a hit, no errors, 1 left on base. We're going to the 5th inning, and we have a pitcher's duel. It is 1-0 Haar in this ball game. And this is Haar Disciples Baseball, presented from Gesundheitsunternehmen MSD. Welcome back to the top of the 5th inning here in Haar, with the Disciples leading the Heideköpfe by a score of 1-0. Inorbal Marquez and Luke Steinlein locking horns here. No runs, 3 hits, 2 errors for the Heideköpfe, 1 run, 2 hits, no errors for the Disciples, and it's 7-8-9. Luca Herger, who swings and misses, strike 1, to be followed by Lou Helmig and Konstantin Hull. There's a swing and a foul tip into your living room, strike 2. Herger has seen 5 pitches, and they have all been strikes so far. Struck out on 3 pitches his first time. There's the 0-2 pitch. And a swing and a miss gets him for the second time. That's the 6th strikeout for Steinlein. Take another look at this pitch. He's just nailing that outside corner with the little slider that drops down and away from a right-hand hitter. And Herger could not lay off. So now Lou Helmig, he fouls away the first offering. Strike 1 to him. Helmig hit a ground ball to first, his only at-bat today. 0 for 1. Popped up, middle of the diamond, Nate Sean Thomas out in shallow center field makes the one-handed grab for out number 2. Very quickly, 2 down here in the 5th. In between innings, I'll show you some of the highlights to explain how we got to where we are right now. It's 1-0. The Disciples scored a run in the first inning, and so far that's been it. Heidenheim has threatened in 2 frames. But they had a runner thrown out at home in the first inning and a runner thrown out at third. Here's the pitch to Konstantin Hull. It's a strike. In fact, both times that was Sasha Lutz getting thrown out. 0-1 to Hull, who struck out his first time, and the pitch is low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Fastball is high. 2 balls and a strike. Slow ground ball snagged by Steinlein, and he's got time to make the play. There would have been trouble had it gotten past him, but it did not, and it turns into a 1-2-3 inning. Nothing across the board. Very quick inning. I think it was only 7 or 8 pitches for Luke Steinlein. Bottom of the 5th inning coming up. The Disciples leading 1-0. And I'll use this moment to show you some of the highlights of the game. So in the first inning, the Heideköpfe had a runner on second base and Ludwig Glaser at the plate. And this is what happened. You see Sasha Lutz out there on second base. He was there with only 1 out, and Glaser hits a line drive base hit to right center field, and Lutz had to wait just a second to make sure the ball dropped in. Juan Infante with a throw that short hop Thorpe at the plate, but Thorpe made the play and tagged out Lutz, and it was not even close. And that was a big moment in the game, because in the bottom half of the inning, the Disciples came up to the plate. They had runners on first and third and 1 out, and Dinsky hits a slow roller to Ludwig Glaser. Thomas coming home, and Glaser threw it past the plate and got away from Walter, who then threw to third, and the ball was not handled by Glaser, so Riestra was safe. Then the trail runner trying to go to second base, he actually was thrown out. However, 2 errors on the play. One was on the throw home, one was on the throw to third, and the Disciples got their run on that play, and that was it. And then in the third inning, with runners on first and second and a 3-1 count on Ludwig Glaser, the Heideköpfe attempted a double steal. And you see Lutz take off, and he was thrown out. The pitch was called a strike. Lutz was the second out, and 1 pitch later, Steinlein struck out Glaser to end the threat. And since then, it's been all about the pitching. So now we're in the bottom of the 5th inning, and Miguel Pinero, the number 7 hitter, steps up against Inorbal Marquez, who deals strike 1. Marquez looks like he's throwing harder now than he did at the beginning of the game. 1-0 Disciples. Pinero, Klaus Nicolici, and Niels Schmidt. 7-8-9 due up. There's that slow breaking ball, and it's outside. 1 ball and 1 strike on Pinero, who flied out his first time. He had a pop fly down the right field line, and Luca Herger in right field made an excellent running catch up against the wall in foul territory. The 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss, 1-2. Pinero does not have home run power, but he does have gap power. And most often he shoots the right center field gap. 1-2. This one inside. And Marquez strategically throwing that pitch inside. You know, sometimes if you're a lefty pitching to a righty, especially one who likes to hit the ball the opposite field a lot, you want to make them move their feet a little bit and just be conscious of the inner half of the strike zone. Here's the 2-2. And he tried that little slider, and this one was up, and Pinero able to fight it off. Still 2 balls, 2 strikes. Boy, it is such a wonderful feeling. You hear the sound of people ordering food, and there's a foul ball right back towards me. Good thing the net is in the way. This ballpark is about as full as it ever gets. It is brimming with energy, and the mood is extremely festive also between the different teams. There's a ground ball at the middle, base hit. That was actually a solidly struck line drive. Pinero got around on it, was able to pull his hands in and line it back through the middle. So good at bat for Miggy as he starts things off. That's the 3rd Disciples base hit in this game. And that will bring up Klaus Nicolici. Nicolici struck out looking his first time, right-hand hitter. And he will come up there with Pinero on first base. The Disciples had a leadoff base runner last inning, and they tried to bunt. It did not work, so we'll see what they do now. So no sign of a bunt right there as the pitch was inside. 1 ball, no strikes. Nicolici checks the signs from head coach Alex Tufts down the 3rd base line. Pinero, pretty big lead on first base, not going anywhere. The pitch is low, 2-0. Pinero is not really a base stealer, and he has not attempted one this year, and I do not expect one here. And the pitch, swing and a miss. The ball gets past Walter, and that will allow Pinero to go to second base. So the count 2-1, that's got to be a passed ball. I don't think it was down in the dirt, but let's see. Yeah, that should be a passed ball. Good downward action on that pitch. So Nicolici now with a runner in scoring position. Two and one. And now it's 3-1 as the pitch is down and in. No activity in the bullpen for the Heideköpfe. Mike Bolsenbrook is here today, and I imagine he would be the next guy that would come in. Marquez, of course, is not really figured to probably go that much longer in this game, up at 67 pitches. I told you his season high is 79. 3-1, fouled away, and it was a healthy cut. Full count now. Klaus had his pitch to rip at, and he just got enough of it, but fouled it straight back. That's always a sign that the hitter has timed it almost perfectly. Pinero at second base. There's nobody out. Bottom of the 5th, 1-0 Haar. Good ball game. Even better fan atmosphere. Words that I wasn't sure I would be able to say at any point this year. It certainly looked bleak a couple of months ago. But better days are coming, and today's one of them. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Strike 3 called on the inside corner, Nicolici. That's the same pitch that got him in his previous at-bat, and good job by Marquez to work his way back from a 3-1 count. And Nicolici couldn't pull the trigger. Walter dropped the ball, had to make the tag. And so 1 away, and that'll bring up Niels Schmidt. Schmidt struck out his first time, 0 for 1. And the pitch, swing and a miss, got the fastball past him. Now Schmidt's one of those guys, if he catches up to it, watch out. But that's been the big question. He's had some limited experience in the Bundesliga, going back a couple years. Ground ball to short, fielded by Gentner, throw to third, and that's bad base running by Pinero as he ran when the ball was hit ahead of him. He's tagged out. 6-5 goes the play. And that'll be a fielder's choice, putting Schmidt at first. So the Disciples, not the wisest base running right there. As Pinero thought the ball was hit slowly enough. If it had been hit slower, then maybe, but that one was not. And Gentner made the play, 6-5 for the second out. And now Schmidt is the runner at first base, but at the top of the order, Nathan Thomas will step up to the plate, switch hitter batting right. Thomas, 1 out of 2. He's got the only run of the game. And the runner is going. The pitch is a ball, throw to second base, and he's out. The Disciples run themselves out of that inning as Schmidt was going on first move, and he is gunned down by Yannick Walter, to the delight of the Heidenheim fans sitting right in front of me. Take a look at this play. It's received by the second baseman, Konstantin Hull, and the inning came to a close. So, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. To the 6th inning we go. It's a pitcher's duel here in Heidenheim, in Haar, excuse me. Feels like Heidenheim with these guys sitting right in front of me. 1-0 Disciples. And I just would like to remind you that we are looking to upgrade some of our equipment. When I say we, it's really just me. This whole broadcast, if you didn't know, I think most people know, but if you didn't know, this broadcast is kind of a one-man show. It's just me. I'm running the cameras. I'm running the replay. I'm running the scoreboard. I'm trying to watch the chat. I'm trying to keep score. This is my scorecard so far today, and these are all of the games going back about 4 years. I've got everything here in my little scorebook, and center field camera does not work anymore, and it's kind of a long story why, but we need some new equipment. So if you enjoy this broadcast and you want to see the continued quality and possibly even better quality, we have a GoFundMe link down in the YouTube description. I would be extremely grateful if you could send some love, I guess. So, yeah, that's the public service announcement. We are getting ready for the bottom of the 6th inning. Luke Steinlein in good shape so far. He's thrown 64 pitches, and he has been feeling it. He's been in a groove. He's throwing strikes. In fact, when I look at my scorecard, he has only 1 walk in the game, and that was to the leadoff batter. That was Sasha Lutz, and Lutz very nearly came around to score, as I showed you. And that's the man he's going to start with here in the 6th inning. It's starting to get late. No runs, 3 hits, 2 errors for the Heideköpfe. 1 run, 3 hits, no errors for the Haar Disciples. And in fact, that run that the Disciples scored is an unearned run. So Steinlein working on a 1-0 game. A lot of ball game left, and the first pitch is a breaking ball low and inside to Sasha. 1 ball, no strikes. Like I mentioned, Sasha, he's been on base twice, but he's also made out on base twice. He got thrown out at home trying to score on a base hit. Then he got thrown out at third trying to steal. Officially 1 for 1 with a single. The pitch popped foul out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike. Couple of breaking balls from Steinlein to Sasha Lutz. One, fastball missed inside, 2 balls and a strike.
Okay, Tasha! Okay, Tasha!
That one just missed inside, 3-1. And he rips it foul, full count. That ball over the head of Patrick Seyfried, who I think is over there coaching first base. That was smoked. Full count on Sasha Lutz. It's the top of the order. After Lutz, then you have Gary Owens and Ludwig Glaser. This is the heart of the order for the Heideköpfe. And the pitch. That's ball 4 down and inside. So Sasha's aboard. And a good start for the Heideköpfe here in the 6th inning. Well, a couple of weeks ago, Heidenheim was actually held hitless for upwards of 7 innings by Yannick Wildenhain of the Mainz Athletics. And then Wildenhain just ran out of gas and had to come out of the game, and Simon Göring hit a game-tying grand slam. And then suddenly the ball game turned. So this is a Heideköpfe offense that can explode at any moment. The pitch. Owens looks at a strike. Gary, of course, one of the gentlemen who can take care of business. He's 1 for 2. He's singled and struck out. Lutz on first base has not had great luck on the bases today, but we'll see what he does here. 0-1. Short lead for Sasha, not going. The pitch missed outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, in Gary's last at bat, Steinlein really was trying to come in and at the top of the zone on him. He's got a 1-1 count here. Nobody out. A high pop-up, left side, foul ground. Will it stay in play? I believe it will. And the ball is caught by Thorpe, who threw the mask away and nearly took out Riestra in the process. That's a big out. Will Thorpe making the catch in foul ground, and Gary Owens is out number 1. And that will bring up Ludwig Glaser. Well, the ball with the backspin was coming back towards home plate, and when Thorpe threw the mask away, Riestra had to make a run for it because that ball almost, or the mask nearly nailed Riestra coming down from third. So now Glaser. Glaser is 1 for 2. It was Glaser who had the base hit that Lutz was thrown out at the plate trying to score in the first inning. Lutz still at first base, 1 down. Steinlein a long hold, the pitch. Swing and a miss. He threw it right by him. Glaser late on a high fastball. Oh my gosh, the sound of fans in the ballpark. This is music to my ears. It was a check on Sasha Lutz at first base while I was just enjoying the atmosphere. And to boot, a good tight ball game. This does not get better than this. Lutz dancing around, not going. The pitch swung on and missed. Strike 2. Nothing in 2. Oh and 2, runner not going, fouled away as the breaking ball was out over the plate. Glaser was looking to shoot that ball towards the right center field alleyway, perhaps, in addition to just protecting. But he had a pretty good swing at that pitch. And so the count remains no balls and 2 strikes. Designated hitter Johannes Krom is on deck. Oh and 2 on Glaser. The pitch popped up right side, foul ground. It might stay in play. Patrice and Thorpe, and it is just over the other side. And so the count remains 0 and 2. You hear the sounds of the fans rooting for their favorite team. And, you know, the thing that's beautiful is that you have Heidenheim fans and Haar fans, and it's just friendly interactions between the two groups. They're so happy to see the others. Very positive energy. Here's the 0-2 to Ludwig Glaser. Runner not going. Fouled away again. That's the 3rd straight one. Steinlein staying up and away. He has not flirted with any breaking balls. You want to be careful. Glaser has home run power. He, in fact, this year has a total of 3. And he's got some, you know, he's been in the league for, oh boy, I think at least 10 years, formerly with the Legionäre, of course. So he's been around the block. He knows what to look for here. It's the 0-2. Fly ball, right field, slicing near the line, long run for Infante. It's in foul ground, and Infante slides. He could not make the catch. It's pretty breezy out there, but Infante initially started back towards the fence and then realized that the ball was spinning away from him, and he had to sort of reroute and come in, and then he tripped over the bullpen mound. And so Glaser now with 4 consecutive foul balls on an 0-2 pitch. Still only 1 out. Lutz has been a statue on every single pitch. He has not been going anywhere. And now he's going. The pitch is ball outside the throw to second base. And Lutz is safe. Thomas is a little bit surprised at the call, I guess is how I would describe that. Lutz certainly did not have a great jump. The pitch was close to being strike 3, but it was called for a ball. And Thorpe's throw was on the money, but I guess Sasha Lutz got the hand in there. And so this time, Sasha is safe at second base with a stolen base, and there's 1 out. Count is 1 ball, 2 strikes on Glaser, and so will we have a repeat of what happened in the first inning? I don't know. Let's find out. We've been here before. Runner at second base. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. 6th inning. Lutz the tying run. Steinlein deals. Fouled away again. That is, well, I'm not keeping an official count, but I believe that's the 6th foul ball. Let me look at this on, maybe I see this in the easy score. I don't think the pitch by pitch data is not in this easy score, but I think that's the 6th foul ball in this at bat, either the 5th or the 6th. 1 and 2. Who's going to win this at bat? A little floating fly ball into center field. Dinsky is there, and Steinlein wins the battle. There are 2 down. The fastball in on the hands of Glaser. He just couldn't quite get the barrel of the bat to the ball, and he hits a little lazy fly ball. And after all that, a fly out. That was a heck of a job by Steinlein to deal with Ludwig Glaser. Take a look at this last pitch on the replay. And so now 2 down. Glaser just hit it off the label. So 2 down in the inning. And now Johannes Krum going to try to get a tie score. And a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Steinlein turning in a heck of a job here. Over 83 pitches. He's out there till he says he can't go anymore. That's my guess. 0-1. Fouled away, 0-2. And Luke Steinlein is a strike away from getting through the 6th. This is the 3rd time through the lineup, but as I mentioned at the outset, this is a much different looking lineup, very different looking lineup for the Heideköpfe. They are missing several of their key offensive players, Sean Larry and Simon Göring. Philip Schultz also not in the lineup. Pitches outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Not due to injury or anything, but it's simply due to the way Germany different states have different holidays, and here in Bavaria and auch in Baden-Württemberg, also in Baden-Württemberg, it's a holiday, but it's not in some of the places where the players for the Heideköpfe live, and so they couldn't get the day off work. Therefore, they are not here. There's the 1-2. Popped up. This is going to stay in play. Patrice by himself underneath it in foul ground on the right side, makes the catch, and Steinlein gets through the inning without allowing a run. We will go to the bottom of the 6th inning. What a ball game developing here in Haar in front of a packed house of fans. Unbelievable for 2021. And it's a welcome sight on all fronts here. A great ball game, a great day, great weather, great fans. Don't you go anywhere. We're going to the bottom of the 6th inning. It's 1-0 Haar. This is Haar Disciples Baseball, präsentiert vom Gesundheitsunternehmen MSD. Welcome back to the bottom of the 6th inning, and we have a nail-biter brewing here. 1-0, Disciples leading. They scored their run all the way back in the 1st inning. And here we are, same score in the bottom of the 6th. And both pitchers for each team still in there. Norbel Marquez, the ageless wonder, deals to Nate Sean Thomas. And there's a strike at the knees on the outside corner. 0-1. Thomas is 1 for 2. He singled, stole a base, and came around to score. That was in the 1st. The Disciples only have 3 hits against Marquez. And in fact, the run that scored was unearned, as there was an error on the play. There's strike 2 in the outside corner. Thomas would have been thrown out at the plate, but for an errant throw by Ludwig Glaser. 0-2 to Nate Sean. And he slices a base hit to right field. That little backdoor slider. Thomas just sticks the bat out there. He thinks about taking the turn and heading to second base, but Luca Herger gets the ball back in really quickly to Konstantin Hull. And so Thomas with his second base hit. He was at the plate last half inning when Niels Schmidt took off for second base and was thrown out. And actually, in retrospect, at the time I did say the Disciples ran themselves out of the inning, which is true. They did do that, but you know, the downside is, okay, at least you can start the next half inning with the top of the order, and that was the chance they took. And that's what happened. Now Nate Sean is at second base with nobody out, and that will bring up Francisco Riestra. Let's see if Thomas will try to steal again. There he goes. The pitch is bunted in front of the plate. Walter has one play, and that's to first. He makes it. Thomas with a big turn at second. He will stop. So a sacrifice. Goes 2-3. And there is the first out. Thomas at second base. I think Thomas would have had that bag stolen, but Riestra, wanting to do his job, elected to lay down the bunt. So one away, and now Will Thorpe. Thorpe is 1 for 2. Thorpe singled in the 4th inning. At the time, that was only the second hit for the Disciples. They got a base hit from Pinero last inning, and now the single by Nate Thomas here this inning. Only 4 hits. Heideköpfe on their side, they only have 3 hits. Thorpe with Thomas at second base. And the pitch. Ground ball left side, and it takes a big hop, goes off the chest of Glaser, and everybody is safe. Thomas moves to third. Thorpe is at first. That's probably got to be a base hit. I mentioned before that this infield is filled with crazy bounces today. I don't know what else Ludwig Glaser could have done. He did absolutely everything you could do. He tried to block the ball, and the ball just took a wacky hop and hit his chest and caromed out towards the shortstop. So we'll see how that's officially scored. My guess is it's a base hit. It was hit hard. And so now, David Dinsky with runners on. Well, they did actually give an error, so that's an E5. That's a pretty tough one, if you ask me. But, hey, Glaser probably would say that he should have fielded. Dinsky takes a strike as Thorpe was doing some dancing off first base. So now, boy, a lot of places to look. If you're in the ballpark and you can see what's going on, you got Thorpe dancing off first, Thomas is on third, Dinsky, an enigmatic fellow at the plate. A lot can happen here. One strike the count. Thorpe a very short lead, however. Not going, pitches inside, 1 ball and 1 strike. A 1-0 game, but Marquez is in a jam. First and third, there's only 1 out in the inning. You have Dinsky, the cleanup hitter, at the plate. He's got a 1 ball, 1 strike count. This one is inside, 2 balls and a strike. Marquez trying to bury that fastball in under the hands of Dinsky, but he's missed down and in a couple of times. First and third, 1 out. Dinsky not liable to hit into a double play. He's very fast. Fouled right to the screen. Good cut. The count now even, 2 balls and 2 strikes. He does strike out from now and then, though. And Marquez would love to get one here. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 so far in the game. Two balls, 2 strikes on Dinsky. 1 out. Thorpe is at first, Thomas at third. The pitch is inside, ball 3. Full count. I wonder now if they might send Thorpe. I doubt it. But you never know. Three balls and 2 strikes. Runner not going. The pitch is strike 3 called at the very top of the zone. Dinsky can't believe it. And he is going to be taking some risks talking to home plate umpire Patrick Meister. Take a look at this on the replay. It looked like the backdoor slider. That looks like it's right there. Walter barely had to move the glove. So 2 down, a big strikeout. Like I mentioned, that was the 7th strikeout for Inorbel Marquez, and that's going to bring up Daniel Patrice. Patrice, the leading power hitter for the Disciples. He's 0 for 2 in this game. Runners on first and third. And the pitch, fastball high. That one had some mustard on it. Patrice has flied to right and struck out looking. Trying to give the Heim fans, the home fans, something to cheer about. Pitches outside, 2-0. Walter going out there to try and corral that pitch. 2 balls and no strikes to count to him. Daniel Patrice. Patrice, a lanky fella, but don't let that fool you. He's got some pop. Marquez deals. Fouled away. Good cut by Daniel. 2-1 now. Two balls, 1 strike. Thorpe off first, Thomas off third. There are 2 down, 1-0 Disciples. In the 6th, the pitch. And that one just missed, low and inside, 3-1. What a feeling to have fans in the park, and you got a good game to boot. The 3-1, ball 4, and the bases are loaded. That pitch not really anywhere close. And so Thorpe moves to second, Patrice is at first, and now Juan Infante 0 for 2 with a chance to get a big hit. And Klaus Ekle wants to go out to the mound and have a chat with Inorbel Marquez. Mike Bolsenbrook is warming in the bullpen for the Heideköpfe. He was already active as this inning began, so we'll see. Klaus Ekle doing a slow walk. Now, Ekle not the type to just go out there with a hook. You have Marquez, who is an absolute veteran. And Ekle is going to ask him how he feels, see what he wants to do. Right now, the meeting is still happening. Bases loaded and 2 down. The inning started. Nathan Thomas singled. He was then sacrificed to second base. And then Thorpe reached on an error. Dinsky struck out. Patrice walked. And so those are the 3 base runners. And Ekle is going to stick with the veteran left-hander, Inorbel Marquez. Born in Cuba. He's been a German citizen for over a decade, however. And so you have Cuba versus Venezuela at the plate. Juan Infante stepping up there in a big spot. Bases loaded, and from the full wind, here's the pitch. Right down the pipe, strike 1. Nothing in 1. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Ground ball pulled foul, and very quickly 0-2. You figure whatever happens, this is probably going to be it for Marquez. He is at his season high of 89 pitches. I told you his prior high was 79, so he's well over that. Now you say 89 pitches, that's not that big of a deal. But you have to remember that Marquez is 46 years old. Although I think he could probably pitch until his arm falls off, which will never happen. He stepped off and checked on Thomas at third. There's nobody over there. No balls and 2 strikes the count on Juan Infante Jr. Bases loaded. And the pitch is high. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The 1-1 pitch. And he got him. No, he didn't get him looking. Walter thought they had strike 3. And the pitch is inside for ball 2. That was close. Let's watch that on a replay. Boy, they both thought they had it. And Marquez had actually turned around and didn't realize that the strike wasn't called. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Infante. Base is loaded, the pitch. There's a line drive left field. Lutz is there, and he picks it out of the air. Infante hit it pretty hard, but Lutz makes the catch to end the threat. The bases were loaded. No runs, 1 hit, 1 error, 3 left on base. 7th inning coming up. What a ball game. 1-0 Disciples. This is Haar Disciples Baseball, präsentiert vom Gesundheitsunternehmen MSD. Welcome back to the top of the 7th inning in a festive Haar Disciples ballpark filled with, I believe, 160 fans in the ballpark today. And it is just a wonderful feeling. And we have a wonderful game, top of the 7th, 1-0. And Luke Steinlein's 90th pitch, or 87th pitch rather, as I'm getting ahead of myself here, In for a strike to Elliot Gentner. 5, 6, and 7 in the order for the Heideköpfe. There's a swing and a miss, strike 2. Gentner 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts, and then Yannick Walter to follow and Luca Herger. 5, 6, and 7. 1-0 Disciples lead. Breaking ball is outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The Disciples got their run in the first inning, and it's an unearned run. Nate Thomas scored from third base on a fielder's choice. Pitches down in the dirt, 2 balls and 2 strikes. On the other side, the Heideköpfe have had a runner thrown out at the plate. That was also in the first inning. And since then, they have not really been all that close to scoring any runs against Luke Steinlein. The 2-2 pitch is outside. 3-2. Steinlein has used the bottom of the order as an escape hatch. As you hear the Heidenheim fans hoping for some beginning of a rally here. As a ground ball to third, Riestra gets a nice hop and throws across the diamond, 1 down. That ball was well struck by Gentner, but Francisco Riestra was right there. And that's the first out here in the 7th inning. But I can't tell you just the excitement that was in the air when it was announced earlier this week that fans would be allowed in the ballpark. And you could tell just from the way that the announcement was shared and reacted to on social media that it was going to be a fun day. And so far, it doesn't matter what the outcome of this game is. It's just beautiful to be back in the park as Yannick Walter hits a pop-up to shallow center field. It's being chased by Dinsky and Thomas, and it was Thomas who makes the over-the-shoulder basket catch about as nonchalant as you could possibly be. And there's the very fast second out of the 7th inning. That was a heck of a play by Nate-Sean Thomas, and he made it look good, which of course is the most important part. Popped up off the end of the bat, and you see Thomas go back out there. I'm gonna actually cut this off so that you don't miss the next pitch. This game is moving right along as Luca Herger steps up, and he looks at a pitch outside for ball. Herger, until that first pitch, had seen 6 pitches and all 6 were strikes. Over 2 with strikeouts. And the pitch, that's low, 2-0. So if you're a Heideköpfe fan, you're figuring, okay, Herger, he's due to go deep right about here. Struck out twice. Made an excellent catch in right field earlier in the game. 2-2. It's outside, ball 3. 3 balls and no strikes. Steinlein has only walked 2 in this game, and it was Sasha Lutz both times. 3 balls and no strikes. There's a strike in the outside corner. That's the old 3-0 gimme. Now I don't know if it's a fact of human psychology, but this is true at all levels of baseball. The strike zone, it's just larger on a 3-0 count. The pitch, strike 2, 3-2 now. Strike zone gets, generally speaking, it gets smaller on an 0-2 count and larger on a 3-0 count. And I'm not talking about the home plate umpire right now. I'm just talking across all baseball in all leagues. There's some, I don't know if it's human psychology or what, but that happens. There's a slow ground ball up the first baseline. Gonna be a tough play. Thorpe picks it up, throws to first, and they got him. Well, that ball was maybe gonna roll foul, and Thorpe took a risk just to make the play, and then he had to get out of the way of the runner, and he got it to first base just barely in time. That was a heck of a play, and boy, what a sound. The reaction of the crowd in the ballpark to a great play. Klaus Ekle wants to discuss that with Patrick Meister. Try to get a second opinion, but he's not going to get it. And it is time to stretch. Folks, I'm going to leave the mics on so you can sing with us.
Es geht nicht. Mein Langschritt geht nicht.
Da musst du selber singen.
Seid ihr alle da? Dann muss ich selber singen. Guck mal.
Do you need the words?
1, 2, 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and crackers, yes. I don't care if I ever get back again.
I was pushed into emergency duty, and I had to vacate the camera premises, go into the booth and take over because, you know, the backing track of Take Me Out to the Ball Game, technical difficulties, it can't all be perfect today, can it? And so you had to listen to me sing. My apologies, but not really. We're going to the bottom of the 7th inning, and Michael Bolsenbrook is on the mound for the Heideköpfe, and he's going to try to hold it right where it is as the Disciples lead 1-0. And like I said before, I don't think anybody here, I mean, of course, the fans are super invested in rooting for the team, but the prevailing sentiment here in the ballpark is just one of pure joy. Just everybody is happy to just be in a ballpark and see a game and feel the energy and have a burger, drink a beer, enjoy some nice weather. Like, all of these things have been evading us the past, seems like forever. And finally, we get all of it all in one day, and it couldn't be better. And on top of that, we've got a gem of a ball game. 1-0, the Disciples leading. Mike Bolsenbrook is on in relief of Inorbel Marquez, and he's no easy customer. Miguel Pinero steps up, and here we go in the 7th. First pitch was low. So Marquez goes a total of 6 innings. Gives up no earned runs, but he is on the hook for the loss. There's a swing and a miss. Marquez went 6, allowed 4 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, 7 strikeouts. He was excellent. Bolsenbrook deals, and the pitch is grounded on a couple of hops to Gentner, finds the handle and flings it across. And Pinero broke his bat as well. So 6-3 on the putout. Mike Bolsenbrook, no stranger to anyone in Germany or Europe. 2.23 ERA, 44 1/3 innings. 61 strikeouts, 9 walks, which in comparison to Marquez seems like a huge amount, but that's just how good he's been. And so now we're going to have a pinch hitter. Simon Lechner is going to pinch hit for Klaus Nicolici. So Nicolici was in there as the DH and struck out twice, and now Simon Lechner, a left-hand hitter, is going to get in there. He takes a strike. Lechner has been nursing an injury. I'm not sure what kind, but that's why he's not in the starting lineup at second base, but he can still swing it. So here he is. A little roller foul, and he's quickly behind 0-2. Bolsenbrook is one of those guys who does nothing but throw strikes. Same with Marquez. This ball game started at 2:09 p.m., and now here we are just short of 4 p.m. And in the 7th inning, we've had exciting plays, excellent pitching, timely hits. Fastball is high, 1-2. And as I mentioned, and I'm going to continue mentioning, the fan atmosphere. There's the 1-2. Breaking ball hit slowly off the fists, fielded by the first baseman Helmig. He flips it to Bolsenbrook covering. 3-1 goes that play, and there are very quickly 2 down. Well, the Disciples scored their run in the 1st inning. And so far, it's held up. Niels Schmidt takes up residence in the batter's box. He's 0 for 2, reached on a fielder's choice, however, and struck out. And a foul tip off the mid of Walter, strike 1. I mentioned at the outset, this Heidenheim Heideköpfe lineup is depleted from what it normally would be. No Sean Larry, no Simon Göring, no Philip Schultz. There's a breaking ball outside. 1-1. There's the 1-1. Inside, 2 balls and a strike. Ground ball pulled foul. Now the count is even. 2 down in the inning, and if Schmidt can reach, the top of the order comes up next. That's Nate Sean Thomas. Just a beautiful day. It's warm and summerly, I guess is the word in German. There's the pitch. Swung on and missed. He got him. Perfect inning for Bolsenbrook. Nothing newsworthy there. The pitcher's duel continues. We are moving to the 8th inning, and the Disciples lead Heidenheim 1-0. What a day here in Haar so far. Don't go anywhere, will you? This is Haar Disciples Baseball, presented from Gesundheitsunternehmen, MSD. Welcome back to the top of the 8th inning here in Haar. And yes, the scoreboard is correct. The Disciples leading 1-0. And Luke Steinlein will throw his 100th pitch to start this inning here. And pitching a wonderful game so far. He'll deal with 8, 9, and 1. Lou Helmig, Konstantin Hull, and then Sascha Lutz. Helmig squares to bunt, looks at a breaking ball, strike called. Helmig is 0 for 2. And if you're a Heideköpfe fan, well, the one thing you know for sure is that the top of the order is going to come up one more time. There's a bunt popped up and caught by Steinlein, 1 out. Helmig trying to bunt for a hit and unsuccessful as he pops out to the pitcher. So 1 away. And Steinlein, boy, he loves those economic quick outs. He's up over 100 pitches. He will go 130 pitches if he has to complete this game. The Disciples' bullpen depth has not been the strength this year. Let's just put it that way. Here's Konstantin Hull. He's trying to bunt. And did he swing through? Yes, he did on the appeal. That's a strike. Hull did not pull the bat back in time. 0-1. Well, the Heideköpfe had a runner thrown out at home plate in the first inning, and that's the closest they've come to scoring. Fastball is outside. The Disciples got a run in the bottom of the first inning, and that's it. And the Disciples, they have not come close to scoring since. Marquez was brilliant. And the pitch inside, and that one hit him. And so Hull is hit by the pitch, and that's the opening that perhaps the Heideköpfe have been looking for. The number 9 hitter getting hit by a pitch. Never a good thing. And now you have the top of the order, Sascha Lutz. And Hull is excited to be on first base, that's for sure. I wonder if he might take off at all. He's 4 out of 5 in stolen bases, so you may see him run. And now you start to hear from the Heideköpfe fans as they ratchet up their intensity, pun intended. There's a check on Hull, and he nearly face-planted going back into the bag. There's another check on him. Sascha Lutz, dangerous man at the plate, representing the go-ahead run. There's 1 out. Lutz has been on base all 3 times, 2 walks and a single, but he's been thrown out once at home and once at third. He did steal a base successfully his last time. Pitch inside, 1 ball, no strikes. Steinlein really wants to be careful with him. After Sascha, you probably have, as Owens is the next hitter, he's probably the most dangerous man in the lineup as it is today for the Heideköpfe. They are very top-heavy right now. 1-0. Hull short lead off first, long hold. He's not going. The pitch, breaking ball, swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. Every pitch is meaningful at this point in the game. 1-1. There goes the runner. The pitch is in the dirt. Thorpe's throw to second base. He's safe. Konstantin Hull with his 5th stolen base in 6 attempts. And he's in scoring position representing the tying run. He had a good jump. Take another look at the stolen base. I told you Hull was likely to run, and he had a very good pitch to do it on. Thorpe did a good job to scoop that low pitch and then still get a good throw off to second base, but Hull had that one stolen all the way. So now the count 2-1 on a very dangerous hitter, Sasha Lutz. There's a line drive on one hop. Pinero finds the handle, throws to first in time to get the out. Ball was hit pretty hard, but it was right at Miguel Pinero, who kept his cool to make the play, but now the tying run is at third base. And that's out number 2. And Gary Owens, the scheduled hitter, and Alex Tufts out to the mound, and this is strategic, the discussion they are having. Whether you want to pitch to Owens, or if you would rather, basically, whether you'd rather pitch to Owens or Glauser, what would you rather do? Owens in this game is 1 for 3. Glauser is also 1 for 3, so pick your poison. Tufts and Thorpe discussing things with Steinlein. And so we will see what they decide to do here. Gary Owens, right-hand hitter with big-time power. Hull, the runner at third, good speed. Infield is back. There are 2 down. It would take a hit or an error of some kind, or maybe a wild pitch or fast ball. Got to be careful with Owens, but they're going to pitch to him. And here it comes. Breaking ball hit in the air to center field. Dinsky going back, way back, way back, way back. That ball is over his head, and I think it's over the fence. It's gone. That's a home run for Gary Owens. And Heidenheim leads, excuse me, yeah, the ball bounced over the fence. Now, the question is it a double or a home run? I think the umpires are going to discuss whether that ball went over the fence or not. Dinsky is signaling that it bounced over the fence. For sure the game is tied. It's difficult to see if that ball went over the fence or if it bounced over the fence. I have no way of knowing. Now, I was looking to the third base umpire, Andreas Boxleitner, and he looked like he was signaling 4, which is the signal for home run. No way you can tell on the replay there. And the umpires are going to talk about it. And Owens himself was also not sure, and it is a home run indeed. They're signaling home run. So Boxy, Andreas Boxleitner, and then Patrick Meister and Dan DiBacco got together and discussed it. The Haar disciples, the way they are reacting as if it's absolutely not a home run, but no way to really tell. There's no way I can tell. But Tufts now is arguing. And so it's a 2-1 game officially at this moment on the home run by Gary Owens. Well, they decided to pitch to him. Steinlein hung a breaking ball, and Owens hit it to deep center field. For sure the game would have been tied. It was over Dinsky's head. Now, Dinsky claiming that the ball bounced over the center field fence, but honestly, there's nobody within 200 feet of that play to make the call. And it's going to go as a home run. And Tufts, I believe, has been thrown out of the game. Indeed, yes, he has been thrown out of the game. And you would expect that. So a home run off the bat of Gary Owens makes it 2-1. A hanging breaking ball. Well, I mean, you know, it's a question of who saw it, and if Dinsky's the only one that saw it, then everybody else is guessing. And what can you do? You can't overturn it. There's nothing you can do. If it was the center field fence here in Haar is very difficult to hit the ball over. Now, I mean, I would get my guess from the naked eye. I do not think the ball went out of the ballpark, but there's no way I could tell. It was almost direct shot from my vantage point. The only evidence that I have to base it on is the fact that just I've seen a lot of balls hit to that part of the park, and that one just did not look like it went over the fence to me. But there's nothing else I could really tell you. So as it is, it's 2-1, still 2 down. There's a rocket pulled foul off the bat of Ludwig Glaser, who was looking to really drive one. So a 2-out home run in the 8th inning off the bat of Gary Owens. Disputed, but it's going to go in the books as a home run. My gut feeling tells me that it should have been a ground rule double, but like I said, nothing you can really do. That fence in center field is about 415 feet away from home plate. So if it went over the fence, it was an absolute crush job. And I know Owens has that kind of power. There's the pitch. There's a fly ball lifted to left field. Long run for Schmidt down the line. He can't get there. That's a fair ball. Short hops the fence. Glaser hustling into second base. He will round and stop there with a double. That ball just barely landed fair, short of the fence. So Ludwig Glaser with a double. Hit that ball off the end of the bat. Didn't quite get all of it. So now you got to wonder what will happen if the Heideköpfe start stringing some more hits together. So Tufts has been run from the game. So that means probably Tim Williford is in charge of the ship and deciding how much longer Steinlein stays out there. Heidenheim leading 2-1. And Johannes Krum takes a ball. My guess is that, you know, if the only umpire, and that's Andreas Boxleitner, if his view was the best one, and, you know, to be fair, it's a long way to go out there, and then you have the temporary construction fence, and even if you run way out there, it can be hard to tell. There's a swing and a miss. It can be really difficult to tell. I could not tell. My guess is that it was not a home run, but it got called a home run. And to overturn it, one or both of the umpires would have had to have seen it differently, and they're further away from the place, so there's no way to overturn it. There's 0-1, fouled away. Actually, the count is 1 ball, 2 strikes now, I believe. So it's a disputed home run. But you know for sure, at the very least, first of all, if it had been a double, that would have tied the game, and then the base hit that Glaser just got would have given them the lead anyway. Not that you can really reconstruct a game like that based on different events, but if you want to look at it from that angle, you could. Heidenheim has taken the lead, 2-1. In the 8th inning, Owens out on second base, the 0-2, fouled straight back, and the count still. Well, it's 1 ball and 2 strikes, excuse me. Ich habe gesehen, jemand will das auf Deutsch erklärt werden. Okay, das mache ich gleich. Nach dem nächsten Pitch is the 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3, the inning is over. Also, ich erkläre es nochmal auf Deutsch, was gerade passiert ist. Gary Owens hat einen Ball sehr, sehr weit ins Center Field gehaut. Und der ist anscheinend eigentlich nur über den Zaun gesprungen, nicht geflogen. Aber das ist so weit weg, dass keiner hat das wirklich genau gesehen. Und der Umpire hat als Home Run gegeben. Und da muss es dann einfach so bleiben. Also meine Meinung ist wahrscheinlich nicht über den Zaun ohne den Boden zuerst zu treffen. Aber es ist so weit weg hier in Center Field, dass es schwer zu sehen. Und der eine Umpire hat so gesehen und die anderen 2 haben nichts besser gesehen. Deswegen können sie den Call nicht ändern. Und es macht auch keinen, ja, so kann man das nicht machen, sowieso. Also das hätte auf jeden Fall ein Game-Tying Base-Hit für Gary Owens gewesen sein, aber das ist noch dazu ein Home Run gegeben. Das ist hoffentlich eine ausreichende Deutsch-Erklärung für dich, Therese. Vielen Dank für die Frage. Also auf jeden Fall führen die Heidenheim Heideköpfe mit 2-1 hier, als wir in den unteren Hälfte des 8. Innings gehen. This is Tim Collins, this is Hard Disciples Baseball. Wir sind gleich wieder zurück in der unteren Hälfte des 8. Innings. I'll switch back to English. Going to the bottom of the 8th inning, 2-1 Heidenheim. This is Hard Disciples Baseball, präsentiert vom Gesundheitsunternehmen MSD. So we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Well, you thought this one was over, you thought wrong. It's now a 2-1 lead for the Heideköpfe, and the top of the order for the Disciples against Mike Bolsenbrook, who is now in line for the win. First pitch to Nate Thomas, in there for a strike. 6 outs to go. A disputed home run off the bat of Gary Owens. But in the grand scheme of things, there's a drive to deep right center field. That ball is caught with a diving play by Luca Herger, who has played excellent defense in right field today. Well, I told you that the fan atmosphere has been great. This has been a great ball game. Regardless, we've got everything. We've got late rallies, we've got excellent defense, and we have a little bit of controversy. Although, in the grand scheme of things, the worst case scenario would have been that Owens would have tied the game on that double. Would have been a ground rule double had they called it so. But then, you know, if you continue as if Glosser's double would have given them the lead, then it were really no different from what it would have been. But Nathan Thomas robbed on a fine diving play in right field by Luca Herger. And the first pitch to Riestra was fouled away. But we got a ball game. There's a fly ball to right field. Another chance for Herger. He dives this one. He cannot catch, and it's fair. And Riestra is off to the races. That ball is still in the corner. Riestra's got a triple. At the very least, he's in standing. Listen to the crowd. You want atmosphere? I'll give you some atmosphere. Francisco Riestra triples into the corner. And there's your tying run. And you got Will Thorpe coming up the plate. This is the exact situation that the Heideköpfe had, albeit with 2 outs, in the top of the 8th inning. They had a runner at third and their big hitter coming up. The Disciples elected to pitch to Gary Owens, and he drilled a home run on the first pitch, officially. And now Will Thorpe. Infield comes in. Thorpe, 1 out of 3. Riestra at third, the tying run, the pitch. Inside and high, ball 1. What a ball game. What a day. The fans are back. One ball, no strikes. And that one floats in. Thorpe was looking for something hard and got something soft. Boy, what a roller coaster the past couple innings. Here's the 2-0. This ball sliced in the air, short right field, and that ball drops, base hit. Here comes Riestra, and now he has to go back, but the throw to the infield caroms off the throw. Thorpe dives into second safely, and now Riestra scores. The game is tied. My goodness. A pinball play, and the Disciples have scored the tying run. Riestra probably should have been back to tag, and he couldn't score initially. The ball landed in such shallow right field. He went about halfway to draw the throw. The throw caromed off the first baseman. Let's watch this on a replay. A pop fly single ties the ball game. Watch Riestra from third. He went halfway, then went back, and then the throw got away from the cutoff man. And that's when Riestra decided to score as Thorpe dives in. So Riestra comes home on the throw. No RBI, I guess, for Thorpe. And now we have a tie ball game, and Thorpe, the go-ahead run, is at second base. Boy, imagine if there hadn't been a diving catch to rob Nate Thomas to start this inning. Dinsky with 1 out. Takes a fastball down the pipe, strike 1. What a ball game. Sean Cowan getting loose for the Disciples, but I think Steinlein's going to go back out there for the 9th. 0-1. And there's strike two, little off-speed pitch. Dinsky is 0 for 2. He is also sacrificed. 2-2 the score. What a game. So both teams scoring in their respective 8th inning half. The Disciples trying to answer the 2 spot that the Heideköpfe put up in the top half of the inning. Bolsenbrook ahead 0-2. And he strikes out Dinsky, tied him up with a fastball. And there are 2 away, and now Danielle Patrice with a chance to drive home the go-ahead run. Well, the Flying Frenchman steps up to the plate. Patrice is 0 for 2. He is flat out, struck out, and walked. Will Thorpe, the go-ahead run out on second base. He's dancing around. No reaction from Bolsenbrook other than to step off and reset. Now this is what the doctor ordered. Full house, beautiful weather, great game. And a nice pitch. First pitch breaking ball to Patrice. But that's a pitch, though, that if Patrice is looking for that one, he drives that pitch to the opposite field all day and then some. A big gap in right center field as Owens is now shading Patrice to pull ever so slightly. And a good cut at a fastball, and he fouled it to the screen, 0-2. Now you can look for Bolsenbrook to try and tie him up the same way he did Dinsky. Fastball up and in. That's generally how Bolsenbrook approaches the right-hand hitters. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bottom of the 8th, tied at 2. Thorpe the go-ahead run. He is at second base. And time called. The 0-2 pitch. That's high. Patrice lays off, 1-2. Boy, the 160, 170 fans who are here have not been disappointed. There's another one of these on Saturday, by the way. So, and the pitch inside. Patrice had to turn away. The count now even, 2-2. And so now the question is, will Bolsenbrook go inside again, or will he try to drop down and away? 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, tied at 2 in the bottom of the 8th. And a ground ball left side, that's a base hit. Thorpe being waved around. Lutz comes up throwing, he will not get it there in time. Thorpe scores, and the Disciples lead 3-2. A ground ball just to the left of the diving Elian Gentner, the shortstop. And with 2 strikes and 2 outs in the 8th inning, Daniel Patrice gets it done. Thorpe at the crack of the bat. You knew he was going to be running on Lutz, who does not have a great arm in left field, and he scored easily. The Disciples answer the 2 runs, and now the hitter is Juan Infante, and he hits a fly ball, shallow right center field. Herger cutting over, he's there, and he makes the catch to end the inning. But the Disciples answer the 2 runs, and we go to the 9th inning. Last chance for the Heideköpfe. And it looks like Sean Cowan is going to take the mound and try to get the save. He's going to have to do so against 4, 5, and 6 in the Heideköpfe batting order. That's Johannes Krum, Elian Gentner, and Yannick Walter. We will be right back. What a ball game. This is the Haar Disciples Baseball, präsentiert vom Gesundheitsunternehmen MSD. And so we go to the 9th inning, and it is a big spot for the young left-hander Sean Cowan. He's been Jekyll and Hyde this year. Sometimes he's great, and sometimes he's not so great. And the Disciples hoping that today is one of those aforementioned great days. And if he can get 3 outs, it will be a great day. Regardless of what happens, it's already been a great day. The fans, the weather, the holiday, and the game. And so here we go. Johannes Krum. This is Elian Gentner. And the first pitch is in for a strike, and that's usually the big indicator from Mr. Cowan. If he's throwing strikes, he's good to go. You have 5, 6, and 7. Gentner. Curve, strike 2, 0-2. Elian Gentner, Yannick Walter, and Luca Herger. And Cowan, you just saw that curveball. He's got a good one. 0-2. Got him swinging, 1 down. That'll bring up Yannick Walter. 1 fastball and 2 curveballs. Und ein Aus hier im 9. Inning. Letzte Chance für die Heidenheim Heideköpfe. Schauen wir diese große Bogen an. Ein super Pitch von Sean Cowan. Yannick Walter now. Gentner is 0 for 4. Walter is 0 for 3. Right-hand hitter. There's a strike. 4 straight strikes. Boy, we had some controversy in the 8th inning. What a game. I'll show you some highlights. 1-0. Curve, that one is outside. He tried to backdoor it again. 1 ball, 1 strike. There's a ground ball left side. Diving play, Riestra to his feet. Throws to first. Got him! Woo! What a play by Francisco Riestra. Let's watch this one. I don't need to tell you anything. That was a great play by third baseman. 2 down, nobody on. And the last hope is Luca Herger. Herger's had an excellent day in the field, but not so much at the bat. He's 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. He's made some excellent catches, 2 excellent catches in right field. 1 ball, no strikes to him. Fly ball, foul off to the right. 1-1. 2 down in the 9th inning. What a ball game. The Disciples scored a run in the 1st inning, and they made it hold up until Gary Owens hit a disputed home run in the top of the 8th. That gave the Heideköpfe a short-lived lead. Swing and a miss, and the Heideköpfe down to their final strike. Sean Cowan needs 1 more. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 down. Ball game over. Backdoor curveball. Sean Cowan, it was a good day. And it wasn't just a good day for Sean Cowan, it's a good day for baseball in Germany. Check out the scene here. 3-2, the Haar Disciples defeat the Heidenheim Heideköpfe. Admittedly, a unusually thin lineup for the Heideköpfe, as some of their key players were unable to be there today, but a victory for the Disciples nonetheless. They raised their record to 10-11. The Heideköpfe fall to 19-2. We will be back with you on Saturday, same time at 2 p.m. I'll be there for you to bring you the broadcast, and boy, we can only hope that it's a game just like the one today. What a game. What a day of baseball. It felt so good to be here among the fans in beautiful weather, and with all of you watching at home. I hope you enjoyed the broadcast. Feel free to support me, I guess you could say, with the GoFundMe link down below in the YouTube description. Tell your friends, tune in on Saturday, and also if you can't be at the ballpark, than be watching online. I'm fist bumping people as we do this. But the ballpark feeling is back, and it's a winning day for the Haar Disciples. And boy, just a good feeling. Just a good feeling for baseball, for fans of both teams. Excellent energy. The Heidenheim fans, they always bring a good time and positive energy. Excellent ball game. Final score: the Haar Disciples 3, the Heidenheim Heideköpfe 2. 3 runs, 7 hits, no errors for the Disciples. 2 runs, 5 hits, 3 errors for the Heidenheim Heideköpfe. Excellent pitching performance by Luke Steinlein. He will get the win, and the losing pitcher is Mike Bolzenbrook. Thank you very much for tuning in. I'm signing off. My name's Tim Collins. I will see you on Saturday. Have a great Thursday and Friday, everyone.